Let's just cut straight to the truth, shall we? In every single room you walk into, in every conversation you have, there's a silent architecture of authority being built around you. And the hard reality is, most people are completely oblivious to it. They just drift through life, victims of invisible forces they can't see and certainly don't understand.
You know the feeling. You felt it. That moment in a meeting. You say something, and it's like you're speaking into a void. Nothing. The conversation just rolls on. Or maybe you pitch a brilliant idea, and it's met with crickets, blank stares. But then 5 minutes later, someone with more presence says the exact same thing, and suddenly it's genius. Look, this isn't bad luck. It is not a coincidence. It is a swift, brutal, and calculated assessment of your social rank.
Here's probably the most uncomfortable truth about how we interact as human beings. Your worth, your credibility, the very weight of your words, it's all decided in the first few seconds of an encounter. And it's based entirely on a set of nonverbal signals you are broadcasting, probably unconsciously. You are being judged, you are being ranked, and you are being sorted before you even open your mouth. So, welcome to Unspoken Rules. This is the one place that is dedicated to tearing down and deconstructing the psychological power dynamics that actually govern our lives. Now, what you are about to hear, it isn't going to be comfortable. It is not easy, but it is the truth. And if you're ready for that, stay with me.
Okay, let's dive right in. First thing you need to do is forget everything you think you know about corporate org charts or titles. Social hierarchy, it isn't some modern invention. It is a fundamental human operating system. It's a survival strategy that's been hardwired into our DNA for millennia to help us organize and minimize conflict. The thing is, every single day, you are playing this game of social rank, whether you realize it or not. So the only real question is, are you winning or are you losing? So how do people climb this ladder? Well, research has shown pretty clearly that we humans use two very distinct, very primal strategies to get ahead, two pathways to influence. On one side, you've got dominance. That's power through force, through intimidation, through fear. And on the other side, you've got prestige. That's influence that comes from earned respect, from admiration, from genuine expertise. Now listen, these are not just personality types. They are strategies, and understanding the difference is the first crucial step to controlling how the world perceives you. And this is where it gets incredibly practical. Just look at how these strategies actually show up physically. This is the silent language of power we're talking about. Over on the dominant side, you see the downward head tilt? That subtly mimics the facial shape of anger. There's no smile, a stern expression, and the posture is all about taking up space, making yourself look bigger. The result? It triggers fear and avoidance in other people. Now contrast that with prestige. The head is tilted up, a universal signal of confidence. The smile is symmetrical, which signals genuine warmth. The posture is open, but it's not overtly threatening. And the response it gets? Totally different. People want to get closer, they want to listen, they want to connect.
Let's really break down dominance for a second. It's raw, it's primal, it's a display of physical power. When someone puts their hands on their hips or stretches their arms out, they are non-verbally shouting, "I am big, I am a threat." When they tilt their head down, it makes their brow look V-shaped, which is a universal sign of aggression. Drop the vocal pitch, and you signal even more physical size and strength. The goal here is simple: intimidate others into submission. Make them yield because they're afraid of the consequences if they don't.
Prestige, on the other hand, is a much more sophisticated game. It's about earning your followers, not forcing them into line. You see an erect torso, an expanded chest. It signals confidence, sure, but without the overt threat of dominance. An upward head tilt communicates pride and self-assurance. And that symmetrical smile is absolutely crucial. It's an invitation. It signals warmth. The reaction you're going for here isn't fear, it's admiration. People see someone with prestige as a source of knowledge, a valuable resource, and they willingly grant them status because they actually want to learn from them. So we've talked about physical signals, but now we have to get into the most potent and frankly the most misunderstood tool in the entire arsenal of influence: strategic silence. You know, most people see silence and they think weakness, passivity, uncertainty. That is a profound, and I mean profound, mistake. Silence is not a lack of communication. It is a deliberate, active, and incredibly powerful form of it. We live in a world that is just drowning in noise, in constant chatter, in useless opinions. In that kind of environment, the ability to be silent, to hold your tongue, that is a masterclass in control. As Machiavelli knew, restraint and timing are everything. Silence lets you command a room without ever raising your voice. It forces other people to reveal their cards while you keep yours close to your chest. So how does this actually work?
Well, linguists have basically broken down silence into 5 core functions. It can be used to create a deep bond or to completely sever one. It can be used to comfort someone or to inflict a deep psychological wound. It can hide your intentions or it can force someone else to reveal theirs. Even a simple pause can signal deep thought and authority, while just holding your tongue can scream disapproval far more effectively than any word ever could. It is a weapon of immense versatility.
Okay, let's talk application. You're in a high-stakes negotiation, a tense confrontation. When you strategically deploy silence, you create a psychological vacuum, and human nature abhors a vacuum. The other person's discomfort will compel them to fill it, often with information they never, ever intended to share. Your ability to just sit in that silence demonstrates emotional control. It shows you are not a reactive animal, you are a strategist. It gives you time to think, to avoid your own biases. And then, when you finally do speak, the silence that came before it amplifies the weight of your words tenfold.
All right, we've talked about how to gain status. But now, we have to confront the brutal, ugly reality of what happens when you fail. The cost of low status, of being socially invisible, it isn't just about feeling left out at a party. No, it is a cascading psychological crisis with severe, measurable consequences for your career, for your health, for your entire sense of well-being.
Let's start with your job. You want to believe that promotions are all about hard work and competence, right? Well, that is a comforting fantasy. The data is crystal clear. Over a quarter, 26%, of your promotion potential is tied directly to this thing called executive presence, that silent ability to project authority. You can be the most brilliant person in the entire company, but if you lack presence, you will be perpetually overlooked, period. But look, the career cost is only the beginning. The real damage, it goes so much deeper, right into your own psychology. This is the most toxic part. When you are constantly treated as low status, you begin to internalize it. You start to believe that you are responsible for it, that you actually deserve it. In this state, it just crushes your most basic psychological needs. Your sense of autonomy? Gone. Your belief in your own competence? It erodes. Your ability to connect with others? Damaged. It becomes a self-reinforcing prison of powerlessness. And that internalized powerlessness, it fuels this terrifying social mechanism called the spiral of silence. Here's how it works. Your fear of being isolated, of being cast out of the group, it causes you to keep your mouth shut if you think your opinion is in the minority. And then your silence is interpreted as agreement by the majority, which emboldens them, makes them speak even louder. This, in turn, cranks up your fear and deepens your silence. It's a vortex that just crushes dissent and enforces conformity, trapping low-status people in a state of perpetual, agonizing invisibility. Okay, so far, we have diagnosed the problem in painful detail. Now we turn to the solution. This is not about accepting your fate. This is about taking conscious, deliberate, strategic control of the signals you send out into the world. It is about mastering these unspoken rules to reverse your invisibility and start commanding your presence. This is the question that really matters, isn't it? How do you stop being the person who gets ignored and start becoming the person who commands attention, not by shouting for it, but by earning it? The answer is understanding this isn't about some massive personality transplant. It is about learning a new set of skills.
The term for this skill set is executive presence, and I want you to forget the vague corporate buzzword for a minute. Let's define it with absolute precision. It is the learned ability to project confidence, credibility, and authority. The key word there? Learned. It is a skill. That means it can be practiced, it can be developed, and it can be mastered, just like anything else. It is not something you were born with, it is something you build. And here is the framework for building that skill. Master these 4 pillars, and you will master your presence. Pillar 1, your body language. It must be commanding. That means you stand tall, you use open gestures, you maintain steady, unwavering eye contact. Pillar 2, your communication. It must be confident. This means you wage a war on weak filler words, the ums, the ahs, the you-knows. You replace them with those strategic, powerful pauses we talked about. Pillar 3, your messaging. It must be strategic. Stop just reporting information. Start crafting narratives that inspire people to actually do something. And finally, Pillar 4, authenticity. Real authority is not robotic, it's human. You have to be able to connect with people on an emotional level.
This quote right here, it perfectly captures the end goal. This is not about becoming a domineering bully. Remember, dominance is a brittle, fear-based strategy that eventually shatters. True, lasting authority, prestige, is about cultivating a presence that makes people want to listen to you. It's about pulling them toward your vision with clarity and conviction, not shoving them with brute force.
And so we've reached the end. The curtain has been pulled back. You now see the silent architecture of authority, the unspoken rules that have been shaping your entire reality, probably without your consent. And that leaves you standing at a crossroads. The choice is now yours, and only yours. Are you going to click away from this and just go back to living in ignorance, allowing these invisible forces to dictate your value for the rest of your life?
Or are you going to make a different choice? Are you going to hit that subscribe button and make a commitment not to me, but to yourself? A commitment to seeing reality as it actually is, not as you wish it were. This is more than just a channel. It's a movement for people who refuse to be passive observers in their own lives. So join us, subscribe, comment with your own experience, activate the notification so you never miss another truth. The choice is yours. Act accordingly.